What if growing old didn't mean giving up your independence? In Japan, many seniors over 80, even over 100, still walk to the market, cook their meals, and climb stairs without fear. And while not all centenarians run marathons, many still move with surprising grace. So, what's their secret? Some believe it's their genetics, others think it's their mindset. But if you look closely at their daily lives, the answer often starts with something simple. What's on their plate? This video will show you how traditional Japanese food habits, especially those from places like Okinawa and rural Honshu, help maintain leg strength, joint flexibility, and long-term mobility. And most importantly, how you can begin applying these habits into your own life today without moving to Japan. In many Western countries, age 60 is when mobility begins to decline rapidly. Stairs become intimidating. Long walks become tiring. Knees ache. Legs feel stiff. But in many parts of Japan, people in their 70s, 80s, and beyond are still on the move. Why? Because their mobility is woven into daily life. They don't necessarily go to the gym, but they walk to buy groceries. They kneel onto tatami mats. They squat to garden. They get up and down from the floor several times a day. That means their joints stay lubricated, their muscles stay engaged, their balance stays sharp. But this movement isn't fueled just by habit. It's fueled by food. Because without proper nutrition, the muscles shrink, the joints inflame, and the pain begins no matter how much you move. That's where the Japanese diet comes in. What do they eat to keep moving? The traditional Japanese diet is deeply anti-inflammatory and deeply nourishing. Not because it's extreme or expensive, but because it focuses on whole, minimally processed foods, seasonal vegetables, small portions of quality protein, plenty of fermented foods, green tea, and low-sugar beverages. Rarely any refined wheat or added sugars. One key to mobility is preserving lean muscle after 60. And that requires high-quality protein. Amino acids like leucine, anti-inflammatory ingredients that reduce swelling in joints. What fuels muscle and joints in Japan? Here are 3 traditional food staples that directly support mobility. 1. Small fatty fish like sardines or mackerel. They are rich in omega-3s, which reduce joint inflammation and support brain health. In Japan, these are often grilled and eaten whole, bones, skin, and all, which means extra calcium and collagen. 2. Fermented soy like natto or miso. These are natural sources of vitamin K2, which improves bone health, and probiotics that reduce systemic inflammation. Yes, the taste is strong, but the benefits are even stronger. 3. Seaweed and mineral-rich greens. Seaweed is not just decoration. It's full of iodine, magnesium, and antioxidants that support muscle recovery and thyroid health. These micronutrients are often ignored in Western diets, and their absence weakens the body over time. You don't need to live in Okinawa to eat like the Japanese. You don't need a perfect kitchen or exotic ingredients. And you definitely don't need to give up your favorite meals completely. What you need is a shift in rhythm and intention. Start with these 3 core principles. 1. Eat light, eat often. Japanese meals tend to be smaller and more frequent, often spread across 3 meals and small side dishes, okazu, instead of one large portion. Why this matters? Helps stabilize blood sugar. Reduces inflammation. Keeps digestion smooth, especially after 60. You can try eating 4 to 5 smaller meals, prioritizing variety over volume, using small bowls or plates to visually guide your portioning. 2. Make plants the foundation. In traditional Japanese households, plants come first, not just as salad, but in soups, stews, pickles, and teas. Examples include root vegetables, daikon, carrots, lotus root, leafy greens, kamatsuna, mustard greens, legumes, soybeans, adzuki, sea vegetables, kambu, wakame. The high fiber and phytonutrient content. Reduces inflammation. Supports gut health. Helps maintain a healthy weight without harsh diets. 3. Use protein as medicine. Not excess protein is crucial after 60. Not just to build muscle, but to prevent muscle loss. In Japan, protein comes in clean, digestible forms. Fish, light, easy to cook, full of omega-3s. Tofu, high in protein and calcium, low in fat. Eggs. Complete protein, often soft-boiled and gentle on the stomach. Miso and fermented soy provide both protein and beneficial bacteria. The goal is balance, not extremes. No need for massive steaks or protein shakes if your diet is rich in small but consistent sources. Sample day of eating, inspired by Japan. Breakfast, warm miso soup with tofu and wakame steamed rice, small portion, pickled cucumber or daikon green tea. Lunch, grilled mackerel or salmon, simmered carrots and bok root. A small bowl of brown rice, fermented pickles, barley tea or water. Dinner, vegetable NAV, hot pot with mushrooms, greens, tofu, small rice portion, soft-boiled egg, light herbal tea like roasted green tea. This way of eating is simple, affordable, and repeatable. It's not meant to impress. It's meant to nourish gently over time. You don't have to mimic everything. Just bring the principles into your kitchen. Simplicity, freshness, fermentation, small portions, mindful eating, and most of all, slow down. In Japan, food is not just fuel. It's rhythm, ritual, relationship. Seniors who eat slowly, chew thoroughly, and sit in quiet settings often digest better, eat less without starving, feel more connected to their bodies. Let's be honest, no food, no tea, no single ingredient will save your mobility if the rest of your life is full of tension, guilt, or neglect. That's why Japanese elders don't just eat differently. They live differently. They eat in a way that respects their age, their rhythm, their needs. They move not to burn calories, but to live fully on their terms. Meet the centenarians of Ajimai, Okinawa. In the rural village of Ajimai, known as the longevity capital of Japan, elders live quiet but active lives. Many are over 90, several over 100, and they still cook, laugh, and garden. Their diets are humble. Vegetables from their garden, seaweed from the coast, small portions of tofu, sweet potato, green tea. They rarely eat meat. They almost never snack mindlessly. They don't go on diets. They simply eat to stay connected to nature, to themselves, and to others. In Japan, aging is not feared. It is respected. It's normal to see elders in their 80s walking alone to the store, to see them bowing when they greet you, to watch them climbing stairs slowly, carefully, but with dignity. They are not invisible. They are honored. Even with wrinkles, even with back pain, even with slower steps. And part of that dignity comes from staying mobile. Not to look young, but to maintain autonomy and joy. Aging isn't about decline. It's about preserving what matters most, presence. But my life is different. We hear that all the time. But I live in a city. But I'm not Japanese. But I don't have time to cook like that. That's okay. You don't have to replicate their culture. You can honor your own. But what you can borrow is the mindset to eat with intention, to move every day, even if it's just across the room. To treat your body like a long-term companion, not a machine. To choose foods that help you rise, not weigh you down. A real-life adaptation. Clara's story? Clara, 73, from S. Paulo, found this channel while looking for arthritis remedies. She never liked fish. She had never heard of wakame, but she made 2 small changes. Replaced her white bread breakfast with miso soup and oats. Started walking 15 minutes every morning, rain or shine. 3 months later, she told us, "My knees hurt less. But more importantly, I feel proud again. Like I'm doing something for me." It wasn't the soup. It was the shift. And that shift can happen for you too. How to start even if you feel stuck. Here's a small starter ritual to begin moving and eating like the Japanese without stress. Pick 1 breakfast change. Miso soup instead of toast. Tofu and greens instead of processed meats. Move intentionally once a day. A slow walk. A few squats. Stretching while your tea cools. Eat your meals in silence once a day without TV, phone, or rush. Just you, your food, and your breath. You don't have to do this perfectly. You just have to start lovingly. Japanese elders don't obsess. They just commit gently every day. And so can you. Maybe you've spent years thinking that losing mobility is just part of aging. That sore knees, stiff hips, and short walks are something you just accept. But in Japan, aging isn't something to escape. It's something to grow into with care, with presence, with food that heals instead of harms. What would happen if you treated every meal like an investment in your freedom? What if your breakfast helped you keep your balance, your lunch helped you keep your stride, and your dinner reminded you that your body is still worth caring for? You don't need to do this perfectly, but you do need to start. Because strength after 60 doesn't begin in the gym. It begins in the kitchen. And in the quiet decision to say, I'm not done yet. I'm still here. And I want to move through this life with dignity. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe. Here at the Miracle Leaf, we bring you small, beautiful Japanese practices to help you live longer and move better. And if you're ready to go deeper, I can quietly recommend this book, The Longevity Diet by Dr. Walter Longo. A powerful guide backed by science and inspired by real long living cultures. Link in the description. Thank you for being here. And remember, your body is still listening. Give it something kind.